Welcome on back, everyone, to another episode of Streaming with the Mouse. Today we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm. Get ready, and you're listening to Streaming with the Mouse. And welcome on back, everyone, to episode 113 of Streaming at the Mouse. Today we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm. My name is Clifton Paul Robinson, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, my co-pilot, my bounty hunter tandem partner. I think there's got to be a better word for that.
We'll
Cam Ramos. How you doing,
Cliff,
Cam?
I am doing so much better this week than last week. I'm happy with this episode. Thank the Lord. We're good. Everything's fine. Very excited.
It was really funny because I am personally someone, I was fine. I was completely fine with last week's episode except for the speeder bike chase. I thought there was a lot of other stuff in there, and all the people that like they ruined Boba Fett. They did all this. It's like they look so. You were not one of them. Just they looked so silly this week, and that to me is just one of the best gifts to keep on giving. And we actually learned in this show that Jon Favreau knew what he was doing with these first 3 episodes before this 4th one, which to me, it's like the first time someone's been like ahead of the game, because Star Wars fans are the worst. We know this. Mm-hmm. We've been in the fandom long enough.
I was thinking about it. Are we calling them the mod game now? Is that what their official thing is? Like the robot cyborg people?
Yeah, I think that they did a great job with them this week.
I think, you know how the holiday special is trash, but like to this day, they make merchandise about Life Day because it's like funny. The mod gang is going to be that in like 30 years. We're going to be like, oh, remember the mod gang? They were awesome, even though we all hated it at the time.
But I think
it's going to get good.
I think there's still, 3 episodes left? There's still 3 episodes left for us to really like them.
Right.
So I don't think, we're not there yet. We're not at holiday special level yet for them.
Sure.
But we will see. But before we jump into the Book of Boba Fett, we do have a lot of news, actually. There was a lot of things going on in the past week, but we're going to start with something I always like. Come on, throwing shade is one of the most fun things to do. As we know, Eternals dropped on Disney Plus last week.
Yes.
Lo and behold, people really liked it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a hell of a good movie.
How surprising. And this, to our listeners, always remember, never listen to critics.
Critics are the dumbest people in the world.
Please make up your own mind.
Are we critics?
No, I don't write reviews. We just talk about stuff.
Yeah, we don't get paid for this shit. So, yeah, we're not critics. Critics are idiots. We're not idiots.
Not even. Please form your own please form your own opinion. I beg of you. Yes. Don't go down a path we can't follow. It was just really funny to see people be like, wow, that was actually really good. Why did the critics rate it so bad? And I'm like, this is why. Well, I understand if you didn't see it in theaters. I understand. It's
beautiful in theaters, man.
These are just kind of funny things, the first ones, and then we're going to get into the good things. A big day for Disney animation and a milestone I never thought would be passed in recent memory. Let It Go has been overtaken by Encanto's We Don't Talk About Bruno for the number 4 spot of all time for Disney music. It is the fourth most played song all time for a Disney song. The first being A Whole New World, the second being Colors of the Wind, which really shocked me. I did not.
I'm surprised by that too. I was going to guess it would have been something from Lion King.
And the third is Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
I would have guessed like Hakuna Matata and How You Feel the Love. That's what I would have probably guessed.
So We Don't Talk About Bruno, number 4. I never thought Let It Go would lose its spot.
I love We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Oh, it's great.
I'm happy that I contributed to probably at least 25 of those listens. So I'm happy that I did my part on there on Spotify.
I'm very curious how much TikTok contributed to it. Because what if Frozen was released when TikTok came out? How crazy would it have beaten? Would it have done better? Because We Don't Talk About Bruno has been trending for the past like 3 weeks on the app.
What I think would have been huge on TikTok? The I'm Gonna Tell Him part on the In Summer song. like, I'm going to tell them, don't you dare. That would have been huge if TikTok was around in 2013.
That's true. Yeah. But we will now get to the biggest thing of the week. Moon Knight. We have the trailer. We were wrong. Literally, like the day after, or 2 days after we talked about it, we were wrong. Date was right. Trailer was wrong.
Yes, March 30th release. We were correct on. I was told Super Bowl, which would have made no sense because I don't think ABC even has a Super Bowl this year.
Sounding like Kenobi is going to be Super Bowl.
That's going to be what I'm going to have to guess. I think we're going to get a full-fledged trailer of Kenobi, or even like a minute sizzle, and it's like, go check online on Twitter to see the rest of the trailer or so. Or maybe they'll do what they did for Disney Plus Day and put it behind a paywall again. We'll see.
So first, we're not going to go. We have a lot of Boba Fett to talk about, but first reaction to Moon Knight, that's it.
It looks sick. I'm pumped for this. I'm not the biggest Moon Knight fan for the comics, and it's not that I'm not a fan. I just haven't read much of his comics. I've literally read like maybe 6 comics the last week because I was obsessed with this trailer. It looks sick. Oscar Isaac, 3rd time portraying a Marvel character. I am so excited for this show. I cannot wait for March 30th. I'm glad we have something right before Doctor Strange because I was really sad we weren't going to have anything till May. Now we do. We got something to talk about in 2 months, Cliff. I'm very excited.
Yes, I will just say the only thing, there's been no leaks about this show, which is absolutely incredible. The only thing someone has said at all is all they know is this show is based on the movie Memento. Sorry. So really trippy. That is all we know. Trippy. I am so excited. Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaac look absolutely incredible. Suit looks great. I love the fake comic panels of Moon Knight, like Dracula owing him money and all those things. So to me, it's gonna be fun. I don't think people really know what Moon Knight is, so it's gonna be also really funny seeing people seeing the fake meme comic pictures compared to what he actually is. But yeah, this to me, and someone did the math already, it is going to end the week Doctor Strange comes out. The last episode comes out the Wednesday, and Doctor Strange comes out Thursday.
Perfect.
That's
I love
a really cool thing.
I absolutely love it.
Here's something not being talked about a lot, and it's very surprising to me. It broke about 6 hours earlier. Didn't tweet about it. I found this like randomly, just like shuffling through things. Someone potentially leaked the next edition of Star Wars Magazine, where it says that the Bad Batch Season 2 is coming in spring of 2022. We are supposedly getting the Bad Batch within the next 3 months.
Cliff, are we in the trust tree right now?
In the what? Trust tree?
Yes. Can I say something very truthful?
You're scared. You're not really looking forward to Bad Batch Season 2.
I don't know why. I feel really bad saying it, but I don't care about Bad Batch Season 2. I loved Season 1. I think 16 episodes is way too long. I know that's what it would have been normal times, like if it was on like
You're not one of those TV kids. Station. You're not one of those kids that watched Clone Wars on Cartoon Network.
No, I'm not.
And let me lay this out for you. Where I saw that Star Wars movie in the theaters. I saw the Clone Wars 3-arc episode in the theaters, and then it started on Cartoon Network, and they only put out like 4 episodes, and then like took like a 5-week break. And I saw the same Yoda episode like 30 times. I can wait. I understand the pain of Lucasfilm Animation taking forever to tune stuff out. However, I will just say this: you can comment, you can give me your last rebuttal on this. Cam is going to change his tone if at the end of Book of Boba Fett. If Omega shows up.
Oh, I was gonna say Cat Bait.
And he will change his entire tone about the Bad Batch if anyone from the Bad Batch shows up. I'm just saying that
I'm excited for it. I'm on such a Marvel hype train right now, and I love my Star Wars. Cliff, you know I love my Star Wars. I'm on such a Marvel hype train right now that Bad Batch is the farthest thing on my mind. Obi-Wan Kenobi, very front in my mind. Very, very front. I love Star Wars animation. But oh my god, if it comes out this spring, I will watch it. We'll talk about it on this podcast. It is not something... I was freaking out watching the Moon Knight trailer, and I'm just not going to be like that for Bad Batch. I was for Season 1. I liked it. I loved Season 7 of the Clone Wars because it was, 9 episodes? 10 episodes max. I just think those extra 6 episodes for Bad Batch made all the difference. I was like, this is a little too long. I like let's keep them short, concise stories. I'm starting to get into more of that habit kind of thing, but it is what it is.
I'll let you have the last word on that. And the last thing, and this to me, I'm prefacing this by saying I have not seen the last half of High School Musical, the musical, the series, but they have announced 5 new cast members. I'm not going to announce the 3 kids. I'm going to talk about quickly 2 shocking. I don't know. Did you see this? Did I send it to you?
It was not shocking to me because I already heard a rumor like 2 weeks before that this was happening. So it was not anything,
and you didn't
because it was a rumor. It wasn't. It wasn't.
We always talk about rumors.
It was not a trailer coming out that I had no idea came out for hours. Clifton Paul Robinson. It's fine.
Also, for the chat or for the listeners, Cam did not text me that the Moon Knight trailer came out.
You didn't text me?
I know. I'm just saying.
It was announced. It was during the football game. Everybody knew what time it was. Everybody knew it was going to be halftime.
All right. So joining High School Musical, the musical, the series, season 3, Jason Earl, who was Jackson in Hannah Montana, Miley's older brother. And to me, the best part of this, out of all the casting, Corbin Bleu is coming back, who is best known. He played Chad. He played the best friend. And he was also in Jump In. And he's great. He's very talented. He can sing, he can dance, he can do everything. So it very much tracks. And you're going to say it's fan service. Absolutely.
No, I'm not. I'm
even worse?
I'm the biggest dummy in the entire world. I saw that picture, and I thought that was Ryan. I did not realize that was the kid from Hannah Montana. And I just feel so stupid right now because it was so obviously not Ryan. Especially, I think Ryan was in season 1.
He got a duet with Miss Jen.
Yes, I feel so stupid right now. Okay, that's cool.
It's okay. I have not seen some of these people. I know Corbin Bleu is just in a made-for-TV love story movie, I believe. But that is all I have for news. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so some sad news, unfortunately. I don't want to go too much into this, but just to touch on it. The day after the Moon Knight trailer was released, French actor Gaspard Ulliel, I think is how you pronounce it, who is set to be in Moon Knight. He's going to be playing a character called Anton Mogart, who is also known as Midnight Man, and that's his moniker. Unfortunately passed away at the age of 37 in a skiing accident in the French Alps. Rest in peace to him. Thoughts and prayers to his family. Obviously, tough loss. He's probably, I don't want to put thoughts in, but it's gotta be exciting when like a big trailer of a show or movie that you're gonna be in is coming out, and unfortunately he'll not be here with us when the show gets released. So sad news. So thoughts and prayers to him and his family and all his loved ones.
Yeah, it's awful to see that.
Yeah, so young too, 37 years old. Any death is sad, but 37 is.
I know.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not. It's a very sad thing to come. And I think I'm really hoping that Marvel, I'm guessing they'll probably dedicate at least the first episode to him so there can be a little bit more talk about him. So that's the main thing I will say on that.
Yeah.
But it is now time. We're going to do it again. I'm keeping your method. We're doing the top 5. Okay. There's no bad thing this time though. So we're going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. If you haven't heard me say it twice already, Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm. I'm saying it as many times as Boba Fett says he is Boba Fett, or he rules with respect and not fear. So the first major thing is saving Fennec. We find out how he's able to do this. And he is actually, as he travels the Dune Sea alone, actually not by himself, with his bantha, that Megan said looks like a Muppet. When she was watching it, we see he is literally maybe a mile away from Din and fake Han Solo going after Fennec, shooting off the flares, and he comes upon her pretty much dead body, and brings her to. Was that Tashi Station where he was also? Or?
It looks like it was.
It looked like it, but also all of Tatooine looks the same.
Yeah, fair, yes.
And we find out how the mod gang comes around.
Yes.
Literally takes her to a mod shop to save her life. There's some fun banter back and forth, which I appreciated it, and also it did show that Boba Fett's becoming more of a caring person. He became much more tribe based.
And he easily could have just brought Fennec there for like his own gain kind of thing, but like he actually did it to save her. I like that the mod shop was very much, it was like basically a Star Wars tattoo parlor, but instead of tattoos, you're just getting like cybernetic robot parts. I thought that was pretty funny.
And
But
that's actually very funny because people are like, "Oh, this finally makes sense." Like in our world, people will literally just go and get a tattoo. In Star Wars, like Luke has a fake hand. Like it makes a lot more sense. Just some people aren't wearing the cover. Some people aren't
yeah,
wearing the skin color cover, and they're showing it off as their own thing. And it really made a lot of sense.
yeah, I loved when Boba was like, "Are you gonna cover that up?" And the guy was like, "What? Like, what do you mean we're just gonna like not show off this awesome work? No, that's like covering up a tattoo just that you just got. Like you just paid all that money for the tattoo. You want to show it off, kind of a thing."
Yeah, and very cool. The man playing the Tinkerer is Thundercat, who, if
Oh,
people
is it
don't
really?
know, yes, he's a
Yeah,
guitarist, singer, songwriter, um, several Grammys. He
right.
wrote Lovecraft Country, which I'm a big fan of. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
And they let him keep it like it was just Thundercat in Star Wars, which I
yeah,
that's one of those fun ones though. Like Star Wars is good for that. For the like, oh, look who it is.
right.
But he saves Fennec's life, does not cover up her new stomach, and she wakes up in the Dune Sea with Boba Fett, and they go back and forth. She's it was a really interesting
I'm mad at
conversation.
him.
They're a very good yin and yang duo.
Yeah, and she's kind of mad at him at first because she thinks like, okay, what the heck did you do to me? Because I have all these metal parts now in my
Yep.
body. Then also like, okay, what is it for you to gain out of this? Um, and Cliff, I don't know if you're gonna talk about this, but I really like that she owes him a life debt in this situation, and he goes, okay, you can help me go find my ship, kind of thing. And she says like, okay, fine, but my debt's paid after that. And he goes, yeah, if you wish. And that's a very interesting way of saying it. It's like, yeah, if you wish, those are agreeable terms to me. And Boba Fett's not forcing her to do anything. It feels like he doesn't even care that she has a life debt, kind of thing. It's just like, oh, you want to help? Great. I'm not going to force you to do this for me, though.
And I think we'll just talk all about the Fennec around the fireplace
Sure.
scenes. This is what Boba Fett needed all along, and I'm not going to say it. This should have happened in episode 1 because it shouldn't have. And
No.
someone said this was the episode we all wanted episode 1 to be. However, if this was episode 1, we wouldn't appreciate it as much.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the awesome like relationship with the Tuskens that
Right.
really helped him to come with this new worldview, kind of a thing.
If he just comes in blast, and that's not him. That's not
Right.
what he is. That's what he was.
And it's the progression, right?
And
so
that's the thing.
Yes.
And that's what he is talking about, where he's like, this is now me. Fennec says you're soft. Like, this is not how the world works anymore. Everything like that. And he was like, living with the Tuskens made you soft. And Bobo goes, no, it made me stronger. And now we see how he has changed. He has changed from being this single lone wolf, because now we have the Mandalorian. We have Din, who is that character. And someone did make a good point. They couldn't have done Boba Fett the way people envision him, because that's what the Mandalorian was based off of.
Right.
Do you want another season of Mandalorian season 1? And that's not a bad thing, but it's showing that it's yin and yang, where Boba Fett grows. You can't be the lone gunman forever, or you end up, it doesn't work for you.
Cliff, can you just cover your ears? Because I'm not talking to you. I want to talk to all the little, what do I want to call them? The little womp rats out there who are upset. They're like, this is not Boba Fett. This is called a good character arc, you dummies. Okay? This is a good character arc. He doesn't have to be the guy coming and blasting all the time. Like you said, Cliff, we have Mando for that. And guess what? Mando's not going to be like that. Mando's going to change his ways eventually, too. We saw him change his ways when he took his mask off, when he had to impersonate the Imperial remnant person. We saw him take it off loving and caringly to look little baby Grogu in the face before Luke took him off. Like, that's a character arc. That's good.
It happens.
That's good story. That is what you want, is for growth, people. That's what I want for myself. That's what I want for you, Cliff. That's what I want for everybody, kind of thing. So hopefully these Womp Rats also get some character arcs and character growths where they're able to realize, hey, this is a story.
No, I stay the same. There's no advancement for me.
Yes,
This is
I'm
my
just done.
this is my final form.
This is my Charizard right here.
But Charizard can't Charizard advance. Can't he evolve
No,
more?
no, Charizard.
Charizard's the most. There we go. You finally found a fandom. I do not. I'm not in.
Yes.
I do not do Pokemon.
Yes. Yes.
But no, that's what it is, and I think in this episode also really, and we're going to talk about. I have a bonus talking point for us because it's something. It's just a very beautiful thing, and I sent you the GIF last night where it's the George. I kind of spoiled what we're going to talk about. Cam doesn't know what we talk about, by the way. We surprise each other, whoever's leading. But I love this episode.
Mostly because we do it last minute too, but that's okay.
Maybe. It's a very like. George Lucas has the quote that it's like poetry. It kind of rhymes, and that's this to me. This episode was the epitome of what George Lucas wants Star Wars to be. I mean, other than droids wandering the desert.
Yes.
But no,
which
Fennec,
we all want, really.
You can just see though how Boba Fett carries himself throughout the episode. Someone as feared as Fennec learns to really trust him and say, "Oh, he's really is going to trust me. I'm going to trust him. I can move where I want to be with security and safety while also being able to speak freely and not lose my freedom," which I think was very interesting.
Right.
So that's something, and that's the thing where he saw his father get killed because of that.
Right.
My guess is he was probably with Aura Singh when Beckett pushed her off the cliff. Bosk betrayed him in the comics. I found that out. So there's all these things where all the people that he grew up with are dead because they were doing someone else's stupid business.
Right. And I love that the way he says that. Like, I think that's such a big conversation point that he really has changed. Like, he's done being this bounty hunter. He's got to look for number one because everybody else has been just looking out for their number one, and he's been helping them on that way. And like, it almost led him to his death kind of thing. Luckily, he was able to be resourceful. Luckily, he had the best guard to save himself. But now Boba's got to look out for not just number one, but he also generally wants to take care of others too. He wants to take care of Fennec. He wants to take care of the Mos Espa town, even though he's going to charge and be like basically a mob boss for protection. But he seems like he's more caring.
But with respect and not fear.
Yes, with respect, not fear.
And
Cliff, we should get matching tattoos. I'll get one that says "with respect." You'll get one with "no fear" or whatever.
Oh God. But this is all stemming because he saves Fennec also because he does need a favor. He needs to get his ship, the Fire Spray, formerly known as the Spaceship Slave One. Fun fact: Wikipedia put everything into Slave One because I don't think they want to go through and change every single because it's everywhere. I don't care. I don't know what I'm going to refer to it as. I don't care. That he needs to get his ship out, but there's too many guards. Fennec helps him. They go through the kitchen. John Favreau always needs a kitchen scene.
He really does.
And we have chopping General Grievous.
Yes, that was okay. Thank you. I wanted to bring that up. That was so funny. Also, Fennec, if I was Fennec going to turn that one off, I would have been cut in 5. I mean, I cut off the tip of my finger like 3 weeks ago. So like, this is where we're at basically. So my head would have been cut off with that. That was so funny that I thought at first he was like giving up because he put his hands up or his dice up, and then also he's like, nope, screw it, we're going General Grievous style. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I thought it was a great scene. It added a lot of humor. Like someone made a really good point. Chasing the little the baby droid around the kitchen is so excruciatingly Star Wars.
Yes, it really is.
And they actually make it pretty well. They make it to the hangar, to the ship, and that's when the alarm goes off.
Yeah.
And there's this really, not even intense because it's Fennec. We know Fennec's going to do the job. She's taken everyone out, and finally Boba's able to get control of his ship. They're able to bust out and fly away. And Jabba's palace, it really actually wasn't a long scene. It was really just a very action-packed scene where they get the ship back.
Give me all Fennec Shand action scenes. I want her with a blaster. I want her just sniping the heck out of people. It was fun. It was wicked fun to see this scene. I liked it a lot. And this is like the kind of action scene I've been used to since Disney's bought Lucasfilm that I felt was weird the last couple of weeks, but this felt like normal 2000, late 2000, not late 2000s, but like 2010 Star Wars, 2020 Star Wars kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like fighting style cinematically.
And that goes into the third point, and I just have it all titled Slave 1, and then in parentheses Fire Spray. So I'm going to go with both. I'm just going to call it both. Why not? Why not?
It's a Fire Spray ship.
My joke was when they first made it, and this is like my really stupid joke. I made a meme that called it the Prisoners with Jobs 1.
Jesus Christ.
In regards to Thor Ragnarok. So the first point, this is a 3A and a 3B. Rip speeders. This is the Boba Fett everyone was expecting right off the bat, and he's still there when he needs to. And people are like, "Oh, he was so good. It showed no emotion." People are like, "Oh, he showed his revenge in his face so bad." I'm like, which one is it? Is he showing? Is it revenge? Is it? And I thought, but no, I think Tamora did an incredible job showing that he was getting revenge, but he was also sad because these are the people he believes wiped out his tribe.
Yeah, it was like no mercy, not avenging because you can never bring those people back, but definitely revenge.
It was revenging. It was revenging.
And it was really cool. That's how you do a speeder scene. There we go. We're back in the game, everybody. We're good.
It just looked so like the Slave 1 panning into view, just taking them out. It was such a great scene. I think I sound giddy talking.
It was awesome. It was just so cool.
And you could tell Fennec was like, oh, he still can be. He's still there when he needs to be there.
Yeah.
And then the second one is R.I.P. Sarlacc. I thought the Sarlacc was dead until, first off, how the hell does the fire spray work?
Did you defecate yourself? Because I almost did. Because that was the biggest jump scare I've seen in Star Wars.
I saw it coming, and I was like, oh my god. They just kept panning. It's such a way to do a horror thing. You just keep panning it, and then it just jumped out.
Yeah.
What a cool scene. This is why the speeder bike scene last episode was so bad. All the money went to the fire spray. Scenes because the speeder bike scene where he guns them all down and this Sarlacc scene that took all the money. That's where all the money went to.
Fine, whatever. I'll never watch that episode again. I probably will, but for this scene, I'll take that. If that was where the budget went, give me this one with the fire spray.
And that is what they go to the Sarlacc. Boba believes his armor's still in there. It makes sense. I mean, he barely could breathe in the Sarlacc. He pushes out, passes out, has acid all over himself. When he wakes up without his armor on, the job was knock him out. So of course he doesn't remember where his armor went. He just woke up without it. And severely dehydrated also. Yeah. And Boba's trying to shoot it, can't get through the sand. Fennec finally is able to click a button that keeps beeping, and a seismic charge bumps off, falls in, and the Sarlacc eats it. And this was absolute fan service. Absolute fan service. I 125% agree with. The seismic charge detonates in the Sarlacc, killing it as it goes through the sand.
The greatest sound in Star Wars.
The greatest sound in Star Wars. The best guitar riff there is.
Oh, I love it.
And Boba goes, "Don't touch my buttons."
Yeah. How cool is it that in the year 2022, in the last year and a half or so, we've got to see the fire spray, drop that bomb and do that noise twice. I never thought we'd ever see that again, and it's 2022, and we're still getting that bomb, and that's awesome. I think it's really cool.
If we're going full fan service, I could picture the final thing when when they defeat the Pikes and they're flying away. I could picture him chasing him down in the fire spray, and they end the Pikes by sending off a seismic charge through their ship. I could totally see that happening.
That'd be so sick.
But no, absolutely, it's really interesting because I'm like, oh, are we going fast? Are we going slow? But now we're already at 0.4. But I feel like we've talked about all the big things so far.
Can I add something real quick?
Go ahead.
I loved the strength of the Sarlacc. Like, that's not something we get to see, but like when it was wrapped around the ship, I thought like, oh, Boba Fett's just gonna be able to fly away with this. No, that thing is strong as hell, and that thing was really gripping it in there until that bomb basically helped cut off the limbs. Basically,
I think it just cut everything.
To the people, DEAD dead. That
to
Sarlacc.
The people, if you want to look at what an actual Sarlacc size is, Google it. There are models. It's huge. It's a giant thing. There's actually a Han Solo comic where he gets chased by baby Sarlaccs.
You can find a baby Sarlacc at Galaxy's Edge.
That's terrifying.
It's awesome. It's cool that it goes from like it's yeah, oh yeah, it's probably like 2 footballs tall, and then it can grow into that massive thing. Like that's just a cool visual thing. I love that.
Tatooine is just terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just came up with a shirt idea that has nothing to do with this, but kind of has something to do with this. Mos Espa Vespa Crew. I think that'd be fun.
Why not Mos Espa Vespa Rentals?
I want like a biker jacket that says Mos Espa Vespa Gang.
They're really growing on you, huh?
I just think it'd be funny. That just came to my head like that.
Hey, it's about Boba Fett.
I'm sorry, it is about Boba Fett.
So we get into the fourth point where we're now pretty much up to date. We know where he goes to next to find his armor. And it opens, we go back to present day where he's in his back the tank. The medical droid comes up and says, "Congratulations, you're fully healed."
And that to me is the cue that like we are not getting any more flashbacks at this point, because every flashback has been with him in the Bacta tank. So I think that's done, which, you know what? That was my favorite part of the show, honestly, but now I'm excited that we're in the present day thing. And we're going to get to see them hopefully do some awesome things.
I think it also explains a lot. It was a very strong plot point. We're not at our bonus thing yet. Because it explains why he was so weak.
Right.
Why he had his one burst. That also explains why he didn't fight when retrieving Grogu. Sure, he could handle a bunch of stormtroopers. He would not be able to go full out against the Death Troopers and everything like that.
He went pretty far out, but like, I get what you're saying though.
He went pretty hard. He went pretty damn hard against the stormtroopers, but you have to think about it. He finally got his armor back. He's riding that high.
Yeah.
He's not, and he's also like I said, he's going against stormtroopers that have not really been fully trained for many years. Even though they're Moff Gideons, it's still been a while.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he just dropped them off and kept going. That's why he didn't stay.
Yeah. And for me, like, I just kind of thought he was doing the Bacta just to keep regenerating or just to keep getting better. I didn't realize he was not fully healed. So it makes me feel better while I still have some, like, gripes about the first episode and the third episode fight scenes between the gang and then versus the Black Chrysanthemum. I can get it. That was probably a stylistic choice now, and I'm now over it. Originally, I was like, this is terrible directing, stunt work, whatever. But it makes a lot more sense now that he was not healed. And even in the first episode, I should have guessed because he's like, get me to my tank. Like, I'm hurting right now.
Yeah. It explains a lot, which, like,
yeah.
And it probably explains why he couldn't use his jet. Like, the jetpack was for show because, like, he's probably not healthy. Like, it did a good job explaining it. And I think there's one other thing from this scene where, it's a good way of saying it, where Fennec goes, "Oh, all healed. What about those mental scars?" And he goes, "Those take a lot longer." And it was also just in a small little, like, we never talk about mental health in Star Wars.
No, ever.
So that was
mental health in Star Wars is you go to a deserted planet by yourself for like 2-3 years, however longer than that, while your nephew goes rings like havoc across the galaxy.
Guess so, and that's. It was just a nice scene, and it was nice. I liked it. It said so much with saying so little.
I'm back on the show. I'm very back on the show.
I never left, so there we go.
I didn't either. It's just like episode 3 hurt my soul a little bit. I was angry.
We'll quickly talk about. We have some time. We have a little bit. We have this incredible bar scene where Black Chrysanthemum absolutely takes out the Trandoshans, but we also see a very skilled character that will be important. That she's already important, but I'm excited to see how her arc ends, where Garsa Fwip gives this incredible speech to him. Yeah. Have you ever watched Westworld?
Like 3 episodes.
She very much reminded me of Maeve. I know anyone that watches Westworld that listens will get that. But also, that was a stunning outfit. That was like the white outfit. It just looked incredible. But it does end. Black Chrysanthemum rips off, to be kind, only one of the Trandoshan's arms. Don't worry, they grow back. And with that, Boba Fett goes out. BK probably thinks he's about to get shot or have a fight with Boba Fett about this, and he says, "You could use a job." So we have it happened a lot sooner than I expected.
And I love that scene because Black Chrysanthemum did it for no reason. Like those transitions were just winning a bunch of money gambling.
I don't think
just like,
it was.
You know what?
But what's a popular theme in this show specifically? Trauma.
Yeah,
He was captured from.
That's true.
From Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Brought to the gladiator pits.
Yeah.
And he escaped by killing the Trandoshans. He absolutely.
That's true.
And Trandoshans, they hate each other. Trandoshans, right. We know, literally hunt Wookiees for sport.
Right.
Chewie probably would have been dead if it wasn't for Ahsoka.
Right.
So, from the Trandoshans. But on top of that, and this was one of the most badass, like Professor Bond almost spoiled it for you.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Leitmotifs, this is why Star Wars is an opera. They're talking, you can tell they don't care about the money either. They just want the security and the power of it. Where Fennec is like, how much money do we have in the treasury? And Boba's like, so much.
Like tons of money.
Bodies. And she goes, well, money can buy it. And the Mandalorian theme hits.
It was sick. It was so just good.
It did so much. It did, like, leitmotifs are so important, and that is such a
especially
good
in
one.
Star Wars.
And yeah, Ludwig really has, like, the Boba Fett theme absolutely slaps. It honestly might be better than Mando's.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's
but
not.
The way they inserted the Mando theme,
it was great.
It, like the Pacha gif where it's like,
yes, perfect, absolutely
when
perfect.
the sun just hits that,
and you know what's gonna be awesome is like
the mountains sing.
This is the first this is the first thing we're gonna get with Din Djarin since Mandalorian season 2. He's got the dark saber right now. I don't know if they're gonna touch on that. Maybe he doesn't have it, and like that's gonna be something we're gonna have to explore. Like, what if he just doesn't have it anymore?
I hope I don't want any plot. I don't want any plot contributing to Din's story. Sure. I want him just to come in.
I'd like little hints.
Hints, yes. I don't think there needs to be anything major. Nothing major. Like, if he is missing the Darksaber, that's an issue. If he says what Grogu is doing, that's a different thing. Because it would be really funny for Din to mention Grogu going with Luke. And Boba Fett, that's a little trigger point for him right there.
I need one mention of my buddy Grogu. I just need to know. Can we get a postcard? Is he okay? Is he having fun? Just like, I need one little mention. It's got to be something like, oh, where's your little friend or something like that. And just that, like, that'll be enough. I just need like one little mention of my guy Grogu. Please, Star Wars.
So before we get in to my bonus point, who comes next week? We know Din is.
Yeah,
that was
Din
a dead
definitely.
giveaway. And that is actually, talking about leitmotifs, that confirmed like the whole thing Boba Fett. We talked about that back during Mando season 2. Who else comes?
I think it's just Din.
Din and BK? You think it's just that?
Yeah, I just think that's that. Maybe I gave up on Bosk. I'm done with Bosk.
I think Bosk isn't there because of that comic that I found where Boba Fett literally leaves him for dead.
But that could give him a reason to work for the Pike, so I don't know. I think if we're gonna get Cad Bane, it's next week. If not, we're not gonna get him. I think then it's just gonna be like, I don't want to start looking for like another big bad like we were for WandaVision, where it was really just Agatha all along. It just might be the Pikes all along, and that's fine too. But I think if we're gonna get Cad Bane, it's next week. But I'm kind of giving up on that, and that's okay as well.
So, my thing is, let's hear it before.
What if Thrawn is running the Pikes?
No, I don't think I'd like that.
Do we get Kira next week?
I think we would get. I don't think we'll get Kira next week. I think next week will be, he probably packs a serious punch against the Pikes, and that makes Kira come.
How many are there? 6 or 7?
There are 7.
Okay, then you could do a lot of like this stuff has been like Big Bad comes in the penultimate and then the final up. Okay, yeah.
So my thing, going back to the Clone Wars, what's next episode? Episode 5?
Yeah.
Chapter 5, which is not the Dave Filoni episode. Cad Bane's probably showing up. If Cad Bane is showing up at all, it will be in the Dave Filoni episode.
Yeah.
If you remember back to Clone Wars, Boba Fett has a crew that consists of Aurra Sing, who's dead, Dengar, who's going under pretty weird genetic mutations if you follow the lore at all. Bosk is probably an iffy one, but there was also the little guy in the metal suit.
Yeah.
There was the purple girl, I forget her name, but there was also Embo, the one with the shield hat.
Oh, yeah.
It would be kind of cool if some of his old gang showed up.
Yeah, and
I think that would be interesting.
That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, that could be cool.
So Embo, and he doesn't really talk, so he doesn't need, like, he can just be there looking cool. But other than that, Embo would be my, like, far off guess. But
Embo reminds me of the toy from episode 7 that, like, the guy never showed up in the movie, like Constable whatever his name was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
It was like a special toy from episode 7, The Force Awakens, and it was like a really popular toy. People are like, oh, who is this character? And then he just was never there. They just never did anything with him.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
My only other thing, if they wanted to get crazy, a big part of Jabba's entourage were Weequay, Hondo.
I would be all over that. Especially
we know what he looks like in live action. We know it can be done from Galaxy's Edge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the one thing I was thinking about. Is like, it absolutely could be done. That would be, my heart.
And it's about money. That's all he wants. Yeah. So then we'll talk about my one bonus point. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Mm-hmm. The title of this, and this is the thing where people have been like, oh, like, this is a slow burn.
Yeah, for sure.
We're building up to the storm. We're building up to the big confrontation.
Marshall Rowe comes out of nowhere 300 years after he's dead, probably.
Oh, God. And this episode is called The Gathering Storm.
Yeah.
It's in our face. It is in our face that this is it. And that, to me, it's just such a beautiful title.
Yeah.
And it's saying, the past is gone from Boba. It is only him taking over Tatooine left.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I thought Jon Favreau really kicked everyone in the shin with this everyone that was babying, that was being big babies about this, got kicked right in the shin by Jon Favreau, because he played everyone that was mad about this like a fiddle. And it's absolutely hilarious to me, because he honestly, he might be someone that understands Star Wars better than Dave. I think never pit any of them against each other, but it's just the way he does his storytelling. And it might be only because John has been that big sci-fi guy, and his whole early, like, he's always been a cowboy alien guy. Yeah. He was that before he even touched Star Wars. And he also, Dave is very much an animation man. John is a full FX, like, he does live action. That's his job.
Right.
So, but I just want to point out, Cliff,
the anger thing. Like, I think we gotta be careful when we're saying that, because I think, like, I was angry because I thought parts of it looked like crap. I wasn't necessarily mad about, like, story wise. I think there's a difference. It's like getting mad about plot versus, like, how it was delivered as far as, like, visual effects and stuff. I think, like, that's, you can still definitely have your gripes about that, but saying something wasn't Star Wars or anything like that, I think is crazy, because, like, I trust these people with Star Wars more than anyone else in this entire world, with Filoni and Favreau. So,
yeah, and it's actually, and that's the whole thing where Rodriguez did an incredible job as well.
Yeah, so this is a big bounce back episode for everybody, and I really liked it. It was great. I'm sad we're missing out on. There's probably no more past stuff, but I think we're getting Din Djarin next week. Cliff, I can't. Who am I to complain?
I mean, we were still told that we're getting. It goes back to Empire.
I'm going to say it right now.
The Pikes might be a fake out.
I'm going to say it right now. Just
what if the Pikes are a fake out and it's actually the families?
That'd be interesting.
So, what would you like to say before we finish up?
All right, I'm going to say this just so I can clip this and put on my Instagram when I'm right. My big prediction for episode 5 is we are going to get Han freaking Solo, and it's going to be sick. Timestamp this. This is Thursday, January 20th. At 5:51 p.m. when I put this on Instagram, because I was right, because all of it is coming in as Han Solo, and it's gonna be sick.
I have seen that. I have not seen rumors or anything. I have seen people make that theory.
Now, here's the thing.
That
I
Han
don't
and
actually
Chewie.
believe that. That's just my hot take to put on Instagram eventually.
I will clip that part and post it as well, so everyone can see that you actually don't believe it. You're just saying it for the hot take.
I will block you, so I don't have to see you do that.
But I have the passwords.
Fair.
But that'll do it for this week. Very happy to talk about this one. I'm shocked we actually kept it really under an hour, and all actually under 55
Oh, can we
minutes.
actually? Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Oh God, you're trying to ruin it.
The family scene was sick. We didn't even talk about that.
We didn't even talk about the family scene.
That was sick. With the Rancor and stuff underneath. Like, I don't think that's a Trojan horse like some people believe.
Not anymore.
Like, that thing. No, that's Boba Fett's baby right there. That scene was... I don't know how I just missed that. That was probably my favorite scene in this episode, was Boba Fett being just an absolute, like, mob boss, mafioso kind of thing. That was cool. That was really cool. And with that, just for this, like, nobody sides with him, but they all agreed, we're not going to get in your way. This is you and the Pikes. We're not going to take the Pike side, but hey, we're also not taking your side. And Boba Fett respects that. He goes, "Yep, it's fine, but I'm still going to do what's right, and we're going to all profit from this, even though you guys aren't going to go with me on this. Just don't turn on me. We're good." It was awesome. I love that scene.
Yeah, I can't believe I left that out.
Yeah, it was a big one. It's fine. I just thought about it now. I was like, oh boy.
But that will do it for this week. Cam gets the honors. Cam, where can they find you and the podcast?
You can find me on Twitter at CamRainbows95. You can find the podcast at Twitter at StreamTheMouse. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at StreamingAtTheMouse. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and our YouTube channel. Just be sure to search for Streaming at the Mouse podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars, all the above to the podcast, so we get as many ears on this as possible, as many eyeballs and views on it as possible too. And you can also find us on our website, cprob.com/streamthemouse. And Cliff, where can people find you?
You can find me at cprobinson81. So for Cam Ramos, my name is Clifton Paul Robinson, signing off. We'll see you next week for the 5th chapter of the Book of Boba Fett. Bye, guys.
This is the way.